What's up, everyone? You have now entered into another episode of Forum Television. Today we are entering my kitchen and cooking up some banana bread. Alright. First we start off by preheating our oven to 350. That's what we want to do. And start off by preheating your oven to 350 and then get a sheet tray for your walnuts. So you want to roast your walnuts for about, I'm going to say, 10 minutes while your oven is preheating. So you want to spread those out. Make sure it's even so that y'all can get an even roast. You only have to go for about 10 minutes, so you don't have to worry too much about Next up, we're going to melt our butter. So we want 2 full sticks of butter. I want to say that's about a full cup. Or not, yes, I think it's about a full cup. Or 2 cups. But you want two full sticks of butter melted. I would usually melt mine probably about 2/3 of the way. Only because I like for there to be a little bit more chunks in the butter. It'll give it more, for when I bake it, it'll keep the bread a little bit more moist. You don't have to worry about, butter cooking it or overcooking it, because the butter is going to keep it. So while that butter is melting, we're going to get our batter started. So we're going to do 2 cups of the granulated sugar. Checking that butter, making sure we're getting melted. Probably needs to go a little bit more, so probably give it a little bit more time in the microwave. Next, we're going to crack our eggs right into the sugar. Now that our butter is, at a good melting point, I'm gonna whisk it together just to, get it nice and soft, fully melted the way I like it. I don't want it to be like super clumpy, but I do want it to be melted. So. But I do like the curds in there, so then it'll keep my bread a little bit moist while I'm baking it. I don't have to worry about it undercooking or being dry when I get it out the oven. We're going to pour that right into the batter. And then we're going to mix that into it until it's all mixed in. Just until the eggs pretty much get nice and whipped up. Smash down some of that butter still, but you don't want clumps of sugar and like unwhipped eggs. So next we want to do a half cup. Sorry, we're gonna want a half a cup of the whole milk. And we're gonna want 2 tablespoons of vanilla. We're gonna mix that together. Give that a good whip. It's not gonna take too long to whip that together. And you want to do this step by step, simply because that's how you want your bread to rise, right? So you don't want to throw it all in there at the same time, like how the ingredients activate within the batter and things like that. You want it to be able to activate right. Yep. So now we're peeling our bananas. I got 6 overripe bananas. I froze them, so the skin was a little bit dark, but the bananas are still good, of course. But frozen bananas, thawed out. Mash them into your batter. Mash them really good. Make sure it's nice and soupy, not clumpy. But like, you can have some clumps because it's nice to have clumps, but like not like a big ass banana just in your batter. You don't want that. You take your roasted walnuts out. And keep on mashing those bananas down. Make sure you don't have any super large clumps. Next up, we're gonna do our dry mix. So we're gonna do 4 cups of the all-purpose flour. We're gonna do a dash or a little bit of, like a sprinkle of the salt. And then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of baking soda. And that helps it rise. Of course, that's the bread. That's the bread that you're putting into your that's the bread of the banana bread. So I put 4 scoops. So those were half tablespoons. So I just put 4 scoops of those. Alright. I'm gonna mix those together. Like, I like to make sure that those are fully mixed in together before I mix it with my batter. Then you take it right from there and straight into the bowl. Now, don't judge me about my mixing. It's not the best. I don't have a real mixing spatula, so I'm trying to figure it out. But it worked out, for the most part. But usually you'd want to do a folding technique when you get your flour in the batter. So you want to fold the batter over the flour so you don't, so it'll mix evenly. But I don't have a good spatula, so I just had to freestyle that and mix it all in like I'm doing a regular cake. But usually you want to do a folding technique. So you want to fold the batter over the bread, over the flour. Yep, so you make sure that that's fully mixed together. You don't have any clumps. And I put about a cup to a cup and a half of sweet chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then you do the same folding technique with that. So yeah, I'm trying to do the folding with my spoon, but yeah, soon enough I just had to mix it all in. Just add a little bit more chips. Next up, we oil our tray, where we got us a 8x16 bread pan, Pyrex bread pan, loaf pan. There we go, 8x16 loaf pan. And you want to make sure that the oil is nice and spread around evenly. And when you go to put your batter in the when you go to put your batter in the pan, you want to leave about an inch to a half inch from the lip. I would say an inch only because you want to give it that space to rise, and you don't want it to overflow and then it'll mess up your oven and or destroy your cake or your pie or your bread, whatever you're making. You don't want to destroy your bread. That looks like we're at a good height, so we're going to set that aside. Next up, put the roasted walnuts on top, just to sprinkle, making sure it's even. You can probably cover it up. You don't have to be precise about the placement, but just make sure you get a good even layer of walnuts on top. Let that bake for about an hour and a half, and you're good. Next up is the cleanup. So after that, we start cleaning up, and that should be your result. Alright, now, thank you for enjoying this time with me. I hope you enjoyed the tips, got some good knowledge, got some good notes, and